Yo, I am enraged over society's unfairness and so must address social justice. However, much so-called social justice is crap, while true social justice must be upheld. It is not an all or nothing issue. Instead, we must use wisdom to know what must be fixed and what issues must be scrapped so they are not a hindrance. First, 21st century slavery in America, so-called. What separates slavery from regular work? With regular work, you are rewarded for your efforts. With slavery, you are not. Now, the point of men working was to provide for a family. They, in turn, received from the wife companionship, sex, and someone to cook and share household chores. Also, the joy of having children. But George Sodini, a handsome, healthy man with a good job and home, was forever ostracized by all women. So he brought guns to a woman's gym, killing 3 of them and wounding many others. Yes, what he did was wrong. But I think the greater evil is the social inequity levied at such men. George reacted in a form of slave revolt. Unfairness is also glaring in reverse situations, such as a black man in my hometown chose not to work and lived with a girlfriend who paid all the bills and financially supported his heroin habit. There are countless other cases of bad and or irresponsible men whom women prefer over nice and responsible men. So women's equal rights has been a global disaster. We must end that and put authority back into the hands of young women's parents and righteous community elders. Then there are men who are understandably rejected by all women. For example, those with mental conditions such as bipolar disorder, borderline personality disorder, severe obsessive compulsive disorder, and schizophrenia. Also men who are chronically sick, crippled, paralyzed, had their face burned off in a fire, etc. But if they are unable to be a proper husband or father through no fault of their own, justice demands compensation. I suggest a supplement check from the government to help them enjoy life some other way. That is, those unable to have wives and or those whose job pays little. In the United States, men unable to hold any job at all do receive a disability check. Sometimes they can also obtain subsidized housing. But that's not enough. It's not enough, especially since some of the most unhappy people are those who don't work. Some even lack the ability to have friends. So to compensate, the following should be free. Computer technology, the best available vacations, pets if desired, and vet bills paid, and personal assistance since there is no wife to do her share, instead of dumping everything on the man just because he's single, etc. There is a radical difference between everything free for the severely disadvantaged, which would be very affordable for taxpayers since such disadvantaged are a small minority, and radical leftist ideas of free for everybody, which is impossible. Our Declaration of Independence states that all men should have the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But the disadvantaged should have equal opportunities to be happy so they can find it after pursuing it. Again, this requires major compensation for all who have been screwed over by society. I agree with various churches that our duty is not a social gospel, but to spread Christ's gospel, salvation from sin. But Christians are expected to follow the so-called golden rule. Treat others how you want to be treated. If you were disadvantaged through no fault of your own, you would want to be treated to massive compensation. So there. I am not talking about compensating those who are disadvantaged because they are too lazy to work or because they engage in immoral or criminal behavior. That's their own fault. Targeting so-called microaggressions and punishing so-called hate speech is bad too, as that leads to creating a nation of crybabies and harms upstanding people. That must be stopped. Racial quotas must stop too, as that is ironically racist. Instead, each person must be examined as an individual. And LGBTQ agendas are against Christianity. They all should have the right to be married, though. So, therefore, an opposite sex partner should be provided for them if they cannot find one on their own. and our failure to properly address the needs of others may hurt us more than them if God's wrath falls upon us for it at the judgment. If things have not sunk in, keep replaying the video over and over again until it changes your attitude and actions.